Peace, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, brother?
You know, welcome back to another edition of the Alray Haku Show.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump right in it. It's gonna be real raw, real quick.
Alright. So do tell, what's on your motherfucking mind?
Shout out to Winnie. Like you said, let's start off with that real quick.
R.I.P. to Winnie Mandela. One of our greatest freedom fighters, whether you be male or female. Mm-hmm. One of our greatest freedom fighters. She got to the end of her road, and it's weird that she got to the end of her road now, when the other South Africans now are talking about now we taking our shit.
Yeah,
back.
word.
It's like she was holding. Crazy. It's like she was holding the line.
Yeah.
It's almost like her spirit was holding the line,
and she can rest now.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I was thinking about that at work all day.
That is true, and I'm glad that at least she get to see. Cause she didn't I'm sure she was heartbroken and disappointed with Mandela.
Yeah,
his cornery. Whatever. Notwithstanding that he was broken by the system and everything.
And I'm gonna say big up to Nelson Mandela. I've never done 20-something years in a box. Mm-hmm. In a box, like a real fucking box.
True indeed.
So I don't know how that breaks a man.
Yeah.
So, but it did break that man.
Yeah. We
to the point where he kept their apartheid shit going.
Exactly. They definitely used him as a tool in their toolbox. And that caused a rift between him and Wendy.
Now how dope of a chick do you have to be when the struggle against unjust power will have you leave your love? That's a down ass chick.
Word is born, and I'm sad the way that they shit ended, especially with her holding them down for so long. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
And salute to her. Rest in peace to her. You know what I'm saying? That's a real. That was definitely she's definitely a shiro. You know what I'm saying?
Warrior, straight warrior.
Definitely warrior class.
She a warrior.
Now
you said you had. I
want to
talk about.
I want to talk on Martin. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
His tomorrow will be the 50th anniversary of his assassination.
It will be.
And I just want to briefly talk about my disappointment
in what?
In Martin.
Okay.
Because I feel like Martin, and I stand by this.
I know you do.
Regardless of whether he changed his mind at the end, it was too late because it was the end. But I feel like because Martin, and I might get some pushback on this, and maybe people have a different perspective. That's why we dialogue or whatever. But I feel like Martin sold us down the river. But I'm not going to go so far to call him a coon or anything like that, anything derogatory. But I will say, maybe his ignorance, for one word, maybe his rush.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And just his maybe, and I'll even go so far to say his good-heartedness. Maybe he really, him coming from a Christian background or whatever the case may be, he really believed in the power of the human family, the love of the human family, and so through looking through those rosebud colored glasses, he was became disillusioned by the powers that be, into actually thinking that our captors would ever level the playing field for us. So basically what I'm saying in a word or two is that I think that him pushing for this immigration.
You mean
integration. Integration, my fault, I'm sorry. This integration was detrimental to our people as a whole. And 50 years later, for the majority of black people to not even see that. A lot of us see it now. More of us see it now than we did probably 15, 10, 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. We are seeing some of the mistakes that we made by integrating it and how it...
Well, you got to look at it like, you got to look at facts. Like Dragnet. Remember that show Dragnet? Mm-hmm. My man used to come through and say just the facts.
The nigga from Monk, right?
And so you got, you got a great ideal with what King was trying to push for. A great ideal. But the bottom line is,
that's all it is.
You ain't want it. So to force yourself upon these white people in this way, like, you ain't want it. Now, up until now, pre-integration, we had the most fiscal prosperity.
Exactly.
Fiscal prosperity.
So when we look back, when we compare ourselves now to
Because we were like
years ago, we was better off.
We were like these fake white Jews out here. The dollar passing within the black community 7 times.
And that's why my disappointment for Martin Luther King, and that's why I will say that maybe his judgment was a little rash and rushed, and it wasn't really thought out well. He just probably thought, well, you know, once these laws come into effect, white folks is going to change, and it's not the laws.
It's the nature.
It's the nature of your enemy. Exactly. So he coming from an academic and philosophical and
you got theoretical
and even theological.
Yeah, theological. You're right.
Perspective. He didn't look at it from a military and often, far too often, we don't look.
Well, a lot of times I've been like. I've been condemned by those that I deal with theologically because I'm too what they say warlike.
Yeah, you too militant. Yeah,
but like you know, but these our enemy, they do slick shit. They do slick shit like who you with. We'll let Malcolm slip through just to counteract motherfucking Martin, so that we can counteract you as a people, so that we can say a certain sect of you is too militant, so we can begin extermination.
Yes.
And with Martin, here's my thing with Martin Luther King, and God bless him, always, because I do believe his intentions were just and righteous.
I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
But what I've always thought, like, is always said that he got that non-violent ideal from Gandhi.
Yeah, which was Gandhi, who was a bad example.
Horrible source.
Which leads evidence, and that's why I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up
because fuck with those that don't fuck with us.
Now watch this. I'm glad you brought that up, and maybe, and this leads credence to my argument that he was rash and rushed in his judgment of what he thought was going to happen, because the same guy. Now I don't know if Martin. I didn't sit down with Martin. I didn't meet him personally. I wasn't even on this earth. My mother probably wasn't even. Well, yeah, my mother was on this earth, but she was a baby. But anywho, point being is that I can't speak with a definitive understanding that I know that he got that that's what we are told. I have heard that many times that he was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi. But let's just say for the benefit of the doubt that he actually was. That he read some things and he liked it. Boom. It just shows his lack of actual study and
because
investigation.
Mahatma Gandhi never would have fucked with you.
Exactly. Mahatma Gandhi didn't like black folks.
Like black people.
Now if you just saying, well, far too often also.
I'm gonna just slide this in. Anybody that ever watches our shit, you know what I'm saying? And you on some shit like, oh, Gandhi and this, that. Yo, fuck Gandhi.
Yeah, fuck Gandhi.
Fuck Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Fuck
Gandhi can eat a big fat dick.
Yeah,
but like I said, it goes to the evidence
I eat hamburgers.
That he rushed into his judgment. If you let this man influence you, this man was a wannabe white supremacist. And he didn't give a fuck about black. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck about black folk.
He didn't even want to eat in the same room.
Exactly. So for you to be even influenced by this nigga hater, black man hater.
Yo, Gandhi was like one of the first Dominicans.
Yeah. I ain't black. He darker than me and you. You know what I'm saying?
You blue black.
But look, check this out, right?
I'm the language
I wish that Martin and Malcolm and so many other of our black leaders like W.E.B. Du Bois. You know, we always have. It's always a yin and yang. There's always.
I'm glad you said that because I was about to say.
The Booker T. Washington with the W.E.B. Du Bois.
But dig what you get with dig what you get with Booker T. and W.B. Right? Like you get with W.E.B. and Booker T. Our enemy wants you to fuck around and pick one, right? So that they know how to pick you out, right?
Yeah.
But then when you combine them two, guess what you get? Who is also a third member of that dialogue that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Then somewhere between Booker T and W.E.B., you get Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. Who came before? Well, he was in their era. He
ended up being their third party contemporary. That kind of gets pushed to the side.
But check this out.
Because he was an intellectual militant.
Yes, and he probably was the best. Now look, check this out. I'm glad you brought that up. Now look, like I said, they always playing us against one another. You got your Booker, you got your your WEB. You got your Malcolm, you got your Martin, right?
You got your Taylor Perry, you got your Spike Lee.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, my thing is this. I wish they could have. I wish they could have sat at the table and said, "Well, look, we're not gonna fight in front of our enemies. We're gonna hash this shit out, and nobody ain't gonna leave this room until we figure this shit out."
But we did not. And I say we, I mean them. Here's my. I believe that because at that time, like we talking about 1912, 1915, whatever the fuck during the we're talking about. Like I don't think that we as a people had been under this pressure, even though it was 400 years or so. Even at that time. Long enough to understand how low and how conniving this enemy would be.
Well, I beg to differ to a certain extent because I feel like anytime this cracker could rape your mother and then sell your half offspring off, sibling off to the slave.
You gotta know that's a demon.
You gotta know that's a demon.
Yeah,
you feel me? So,
but that demon still gave you a white Christ. That demon still took your culture,
rebranded it,
and gave it back to you as their culture and said, "You fuck down."
Yeah, but notwithstanding though, check this out, right? I just want to make this point real quick. Like I said, I wish they did come together, but that being said, they didn't come together. Cool, but me personally. I'm a Booker T man, and when I look at the time around us, right now, this don't take nothing away from WEB.
No, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you why I'm a Booker man. I'm a Booker T Washington man because of this. The man said, "Cast down your buckets," right? And when I look at, you know who I think took a page right out of his book? The Mexicans. The motherfucking Mexicans. Now they taking a beating right now in the media with Trump and all that shit, with the wall building and immigrating, the DACA and all that shit. But you know what they did? They cast down their buckets.
They made themselves a workforce America now can't do without.
And I respect, and that's what Booker T was saying because automatically, right? Automatically, when you cast down your buckets, right, and pull yourself up from your bootstraps, you are automatically an economic contender. And that's what it all boils down to. You automatically economic contender. You teach yourself trades, which you pass down to your children and their children's children. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where we fucked up at. When we didn't cast down that bucket, and we went and said, well, you know what? We started teaching, well, you got to go to college so you can get a good job instead of, well, you need to learn it. You need to come in this workshop and learn this trade so you can start your own business. Well, now we fucked up.
Now we at a point right now where, and you're absolutely right. You can still see it?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it don't cut off like that.
Now we in a point right now. See, I love the intellectual capacity of Du Bois. I do. But I love the functionality of Booker T. Washington. Yeah. That's why I say when you combine the two, you a militant intellectualist. And then you Marcus Garvey.
Because I think automatically, it would have evolved automatically, right? If we would have went the Booker T. Washington route. And we're going to see in a couple years. We're going to see it another 5 to 10 years. Maybe even 15 to 20.
I went both routes.
But hold on. Check this out, right? We're going to see through the Mexican experience what it calls for. We're going to see because we all remember growing up as a kid not seeing a lot of Hispanics and then they started coming around. I remember that, right? I remember going through the prison system and not seeing a lot of Mexicans or Hispanics and then seeing a lot of them and then they're like, where the fuck they came from? And as I look back in retrospect and I do the history on shit, I'm like, oh, okay. Reagan brought them in and this, that, and the third, and they're here now. But we're going to see the end result. I think by naturally casting down your bucket, right, and just concentrating on your economics and your community, it automatically going to bring about intellectual class. It's going to automatic because
it's going to empower your workforce.
It automatically, yes, it does, and it automatically teaches generational wealth by default.
You're right.
It's just inherent inside of the cash your bucket system. Is that okay? I'm going to learn to be a barber, and then I'm going to teach my son to barber. Well, now whether he decides to take this craft to the next level,
that's on him.
He does have a way to provide for his family. Or he can provide for his children or himself to go to school and become an intellectual. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and not even because I agree with you 100. And you got to remember, like it was the 1960s, 70s that they started taking vocationality out of school.
Out of school
for a reason.
Yeah. But see, but this the thing though. When now watch this. Check this out. This something that you got to look into.
I don't know if vocationality is a word.
No. But watch this though. Now, if you Mexican, really, say you my Mexican dad, right? You're fucking.
What, landscape?
You landscape. I was just about to say that. You do landscaping. You take me out. I don't want to go, Dad, that shit corny, but you take me out, and I'm your son, so I'm going to go learn it anyway. No right? Choice. And I learned the landscaping situation. And I stick with it. I do my landscaping thing, right? Automatically, I'm strapped with an ability to provide for myself, whether I like it or not.
You're strapped with a trade.
A trade that you see what I'm saying?
You can always trade,
which could translate
for money.
Exactly, it translated to money by default. Immediately. Now, when I have I hate cutting grass. So when my son come up, and I'm going to teach him too, because that's what I was taught to carry this trade down. Now, if he decide not to go that route, at least he could mow lawns until he finished college or whatever else he wanted to do.
You know what the funny shit is that you say about that? When I was young and I went through the foster home system, but before I even went into the foster home systems, I lived with my grandmom and my granddad for a year before Dyfus said, like, you just in the system. But you know what my grandfather used to do all the time with me? Like, he used to garden. He had a huge backyard in Red Bank, New Jersey. Central Jersey, and he would garden and plow that shit, and he had his own business. He had his own limo. It wasn't a limo, but he had his own car service business. Yeah. There was not a time that he'd be out there where he ain't getting me out there. Yeah. And the neighbors would be like, "You get
trying to teach you."
And it's funny because when I had to do, when shit got real and I took custody of my son, I needed to do whatever kind of work because my shit wasn't right.
Those skills came.
I had warrants and shit. My shit wasn't right, so I needed to go landscape and construction. Yeah. It's funny how that shit like
helped you out. It came like a secondhand nature. Yeah. Like, oh shit, I remember this.
Yeah, I remember this shit. I remember
Pops told me this. Exactly. I remember this shit. And that's what we need to get back to. And I feel like I gotta indict Martin for taking us away from that mentality, from that kind of situation where our parents and our grandparents said, well, if you want to be successful by white folk standards, you got to go to college. But colleges only say, well, you got to learn what you need to learn to get a job, and a job ain't cutting it for us.
But here's the funny
shit. Just like Jesus ain't cutting it for us.
Here's the funny shit. White folks are even like, this degree ain't doing what I needed to do.
Exactly.
But they don't have. See, that's why, like, I love.
And if it ain't helping them, you know it ain't gonna help us because they gonna hire them first.
Here's why I love martial arts. It says 3 things: mind, spirit, body. Yo, you gotta have all 3. Sometimes you might be using your mind more than your body and your spirit. Sometimes you might be using your body more than your mind and your spirit. Sometimes you might be using your spirit more than your mind and your body. But if you can get, like, and the ideal is to get them all in sync, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But Dr. King, shit was so early with us though, because as Africans in America, here's the thing. By the time King came around, as Africans in America, this whole experience is new. Not us being.
What you mean it was new? Because
that's what I'm about to tell you.
Because you had.
This is what I'm about to tell you. Not us being the forefront of society in the world community. That's not new. But us being the forefront of society in this devilish shit. That was new shit. And motherfuckers.
When you say the forefront, I'm lost in translation.
The forefront.
What do you mean by that?
When I say the forefront, I mean if you look back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, or what have you. Like
we ran the world, but I'm talking about
we ran the world. So then when we were snatched out of where we came from, right? That shit, even today, 2018, it's still kind of new. For example, America is only not even 300 years old yet from what?
Yeah, we're a little over 250.
We like maybe 270, but that's a little over 250. And everybody's hate, everybody's love in this country is new. But we know something that they don't know that we can't reconcile yet for some reason. Like, we know we ain't supposed to be where we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't where we supposed to be because of the systematic white supremacy, the system that they put in place. And that's cool. I ain't hating on these devils for doing what they do. They supposed to do what they do and take care of theirs and exploit. And that's their nature. They doing what they supposed to do. They working fine. The machinery is oil well.
Yeah.
My gripe is with black folk. I'm only concerned about black folk and what we doing. And I feel like, you know, when I was growing up, it was blasphemous to talk about our leaders, these leaders that's given to us or whatever, or even if they earn.
Say it again, because it was blasphemous. They give it to us.
All right, and
but
so
we ain't pick them though.
If we talk to our parents, right, or our grandparents about it, if I was to say this to my grandmother, or somebody, she would probably die right there.
She might drop.
She might drop dead, right? But what I'm saying is, we need to move it. We need to start. We got to critique our leaders, these people that who made certain moves
on behalf of all of us.
That caused all of us to be in this detrimental situation. And Martin, at the time I'm speaking of him, because tomorrow is, like I said, it's his 50th anniversary of the assassination. He made a conscious decision. He thought, and I would love to sit down with him, if I could go back and sit down with him and say, listen, what makes you want to integrate with these people? What makes you want to get under these people's arms and hug and what
vote under their system?
Yeah, what do you think is going to change? Because the route that we was on, it's a fact that we was better off. We had more businesses. We even back then we had more black politicians. Things of that nature. So we had more of our own schools. We had more cities that we controlled and shit like that.
I think a lot of so now here we are, 2018. So now here we are, and case in point. And this is we good still?
Yeah.
This is why I loved Khalid Muhammad.
Okay.
Because he saw something that Al Sharpton didn't see, that Jesse Jackson didn't see. He saw something, and he said, "Oh shit, we got Bloods and Crips on the East Coast. Now that's weird enough. They don't even come from here, but here we are. We doing all types of shit. Yo, we clanning up, but we killing ourselves as we clan up." And Khalid said, I don't care if you Blood, Crip, Nieta, Latin King, Latin King, what have you. He's like, yo, but if you can get with this program on Pan-Africanism,
I open you up with open arms.
That's
he was inclusive,
and that's where we are. He was like, yo, he was the first cat I ever heard say, like, yo, the number one people we need to gravitate toward are the gangbangers, because we have war.
Yeah, and they war ready.
And they war ready.
They just shooting at the wrong enemy,
and that's all he's ever said. And
that makes sense.
And we used to have Bloods and Crips as this and that, as minister of this and minister of that in the Black Panther Party, and we got COINTELPRO. But like, also we need to stop marching. We need to stop broadcasting our frustrations and our irritations to the world, and just keep it amongst ourselves. I want to say this, you know what I'm saying, about the brother, and unfortunately, because like just my work schedule and shit like that, and I be tired. I haven't watched the news the way I usually like to watch the news, but this brother that was shot 20 times in the motherfucking backyard,
he was a coon. Fuck him.
But here's my point.
Tell me. I don't have no respect for him.
His brother that was alive,
cooning too.
Now, yes, cooning too. And I hate this. Like, my black people gotta stop. Well, here's what I'm saying. I don't know the intricacies of what you're saying. But I've been watching. Yeah, you've been watching. Okay. I haven't. Go ahead. I'm listening. I saw when at the funeral when he said, I don't remember what his brother's name is, but he said, everybody repeat after me like it's some some kind of hip hop video. Like, cool. I am, and you say my brother. No, nigga. Your brother dead in the casket. Exactly. And now I don't want to be that. Yeah. So you telling me I ain't him?
Yeah, I'm not him.
I ain't him.
But if you want to go from here moving forward, We can, but like I said, let me just speak on him for briefly. The man was a coon, and he got his just deserves because he thought that by him, he tried to do his little Bill Cosby routine and his OJ shit, and he shitted on black women and black men. All I hate. Only thing I want black is the Xbox and all that shit. I hate black people and all that shit. And you know what?
That's how he was moving.
That's how he was moving.
Because I don't even know.
I'm telling you, that's how he was moving. When you read his Twitter account, his Instagram and all that shit, he ain't never had nothing good to say about our people. He had an Asian girlfriend she was talking shit to. You know what I mean? He was talking about how his kids is Vietnamese and all this other doofy dumb shit. And that nigga could eat a big fat dick. Fuck him. Fuck what I don't give a see. Now we moving it. Now we gotta move into the realm of when we do see these police shootings and stuff like that, we gotta know who we now. Fuck the police. I ain't caping for them. I could give a fuck about the police, but nigga, you ain't gonna shit on me, right? And mine. Get your head knocked off by the enemy,
and then come back to me,
and then want me to help you out. Nah, B. If you ain't on this side of the line from day one, nigga. You get everything you deserve, motherfucker. Yo, fuck him.
Yo, chicks do this all the time. Chicks will do some shit.
Fuck that nigga.
Chicks will do some shit like, I ain't fucking with you no more. Because you did some fuck shit as a man. And chicks will be like, fuck you. I ain't fucking with you no more. I'm going to go fuck with this nigga. They go fuck with that nigga. They realize that nigga
is even worse than you.
He ain't even nowhere near you.
Exactly.
Then they want to come back to you like,
he got his wake up call.
My bad.
You know what I mean? And he got his wake up call because a lot of the shit that he was killing brothers about, talking shit about to brothers about, he ended up being that's your phone. That's it. He ended up being a manifestation of it. You know what I'm saying? Running around, robbing cars and breaking windows and all that shit, and that's what you get. But
yeah, I ain't answering that shit.
Motherfucker, like I said though.
Yeah, but that nigga, okay. What is that? Yeah, that was what I wanted to talk about. I had to. Yeah,
that nigga ain't he ain't right.
Like you know what I'm tired of, bro. Like on some real shit.
I'm tired of seeing black people cooning out here. I'm tired of seeing black people scared of white folks.
I'm a father.
And all that dumb shit.
I'm a father. You're a father, and this is what I always say. Like I ain't no Eric Gardner, and I ain't these niggas. Like if any, I don't care what nationality you are. You take one of mine, I'm taking one of yours. And that's just how this shit go.
And that's how it's supposed to go.
And it don't matter like.
And the more of us that get on code with that,
but that's gotta be the code.
That's the
you
code.
Take one of mine, like why would I go?
You my brother. That's it. That's the fucking code. When I look at you, I see me. And if I ain't gonna let my enemy treat me this way, I ain't gonna let my enemy treat me like exactly. That's it.
So it's like,
so if niggas ain't on code like that, if that's too complicated for niggas to understand, then nigga, you gonna get your ass bust too.
So for these black fathers who do shit, because I could never do this one. For these black fathers and shit that had these rallies and shit, you call Al Sharpton and shit.
Nah.
And you be over here like, yo, they took my son. Now, what? Bruh, they took your son? Nigga, it's time for you to go to war.
Every time they always tell these niggas, right? These niggas, their sons get killed, and these niggas get up there, people protest, and they say, "We wanted to be peaceful."
Yeah, they say they want peace.
That motherfucker saying, "Yo, tear this motherfucker up.
Fuck peace.
Tear this shit the fuck up," because. That's the only way shit gonna change.
Real shit, you ain't gonna get no peace unless there's war first.
That's it.
And that's why all these people, like theologically, that I deal with and shit, like they say I'm to this, that, to that. But like, you can't get peace unless you practice war. You can't take my shit. You can't take my shit and then have me begging for peace.
What I don't ever understand is how black folk don't get it though.
Ask them.
Why the fuck black folk? Why y'all listen, black folk?
Ask
how y'all don't get it.
I don't understand either.
We are at war. We've been at war. Some of us understand this, and some of us live our life accordingly. Most of us that do, we are ostracized in the black community. When we come around, they like, oh, that's that nigga. He about to start talking that Farrakhan shit, or he about to get on that Malcolm X shit. I gotta go. Nah, but this is real talk, nigga. This the shit that's gonna keep your ass alive.
I gotta celebrate Easter.
Well, nah, see, Y'all niggas is too indoctrinated with your enemy. See,
I gotta celebrate Christmas.
Niggas is coons.
I gotta do this.
How you relate it? See,
I gotta do that.
And I'm glad you brought that up because
that's how they be coming.
I don't want to put